Today we're going to bring up the one individual we forgot about in the appraisal debate.
We're actually bringing out some truths, peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining the light on this industry as a whole.
Maybe you should stay away from it.
Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut. This is episode 145. I'm Byron Lazine. He is Tim Beret. Let's jump right into it. If you didn't see it, go back, watch episode 144. The debate was, should the listing agent be present at the appraisal? We had a lot of good back and forth. If you're in the business, you know that this is a topic that's almost 50-50 down the line, depending on what state you are in. There are some states where the listing agent is not allowed to even attend that, but if you're in a state where it's optional, that debate's usually about 50-50. But it was interesting, on the YouTube comments on last show, somebody chimed in, and remember, we're talking about it from the seller's perspective. As agents, how do we protect our seller? How do we put them in the best position? That's where the debate really came down to. But consumers are watching this, right? And somebody who's a home buyer right now said, well, gee, I guess I better show up at my appraisal, because remember, the buyer's actually the one paying the money to the bank for the appraisal. It's their appraisal. It's nobody else's appraisal. Remember that. It's the buyer's appraisal. I better show up to make sure that these listing agents aren't influencing my appraiser, because they want obviously a third disinterested party to have full control.
I think it's a great point. And as a listing agent, I think we made our points.
Yeah.
From the buy side, well, look, if you're going up against somebody like myself, I would make sure that you are present at that appraisal to neutralize what's going on behind the scenes.
The industry norm is basically buyer's agents never go.
Well, it's time.
Right.
Isn't it about your time?
HBUT.
So so unfortunately, if we're talking about doing what's best for our client, it is in the best interest of the buyer. It's all or nothing. You either have both agents present or neither agent present in order to do what's right for that client so that the appraiser is not influenced. But you made the point that you're influencing, you may not go, but you're influencing the appraiser
In a different way. Of course, I think the influence has to be there.
Is the buyer going to do that?
Yeah, so so what's interesting is the industry norm is buyer's agents, when a buyer, because actually, buyers from time to time will ask this question, should I be at the appraisal? Oh, buyers never go to the appraisal.
Why?
And then it's just like, okay.
Why?
Well, that's not the follow-up question normally.
I think we need to think about this. I mean, everybody starts thinking the same exact way, and nobody ever questions why.
Right.
And the fact that we got people to ask that question says that we're doing something right.
And to look at this process and say, well, just because it's been that way, does it need to always be that way? I don't know. If I'm an appraiser and I'm hearing this, I'm like,
you guys just screwed up
you just
my life.
screwed me, because now I got to schedule a listing agent, a buyer's agent, a buyer's schedule, and maybe now the seller says, hey, let's make it a party. I want to be there too.
Let's get an appraiser on the show.
I think we do. I really, really want to hear from an appraiser on this topic, because
Hey, you know what we could do? My dad, former well-known appraiser in the state of Maine, I haven't discussed this at all with him.
Yeah, I'd like his,
maybe we
and
should get that opinion.
And he has the agent, he's been an agent, he's been a
Correct.
broker. He's got a really good perspective.
We may not like what we hear.
We don't have to go up to Maine though, right?
We could if we were going to take a trip to Maine.
All right, we can go to Maine. But, if I'm a buyer, I'm thinking about that. I'm asking my buyer's agent maybe now, after this discussion.
Absolutely.
Is the listing agent going to be there? Oh, they are? Well, do you plan on being there?
I'd now make them.
Because again, the listing agent can bring 4, 5, 6 comps that are really, really favorable, but they left out the neighbor who sold,
But
20% down below the market. I mean, the appraiser's going to find this.
Here's the problem. We're assuming that the agents want to do what's in the best interest of their client. That buyer's agent, most of the time, just wants to see the deal get done.
Yeah.
So they typically do not want to go in and actually get that to come in at a lower number because they want the deal to take place.
Hoping the deal just goes.
Right.
Yeah, but that goes back to, we've talked about it so many times, the average agent does 1 to 4 deals a year. The average agent likely doesn't have a full pipeline of properties that are pending to where, heck, Lucy, what did we just lose? 2 deals? It was the best interest of our client to lose those 2 deals last week. Take them out of under contract because we have enough in the pipeline where I'm not influenced by the lack of a deal. I'm only worried about my client.
Sure.
Right? And I think
Great topic.
I think if you're a buyer's agent, you've got to take that into consideration.
Chime in on this one.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think we go to nobody goes. The appraiser does his or her job because they're an actual professional.
You're assuming.
See ya.